Good day, everyone. Welcome to News Analysis. There have been crackdown by the ICE on illegal immigrants on the United States of America, and that have prompted protests across United States of America. Um, Lindsey Graham was on Fox News where he reviewed pushing a bill that allows governor and mayor of states to go to prison if they refuse to hand over detained illegal migrants to the federal agents. For some time, there have been, fight between the federal agents and the Minneapolis residents that have triggered the protests, and this have led to, the shooting of two people, and which eventually they died as a result of that shooting. And there have been protests across the United States of America. And from the disagreement between the federal governments of the United States of America and the state government, uh, that is in the state of Minneapolis, where the governor, Tim Walz, refused to hand over detained illegal migrants to the federal agents. So there have been back and front between Trump and the governor, and these have, led to so many chaos in the state. So let's look at the Senator Lindsey Graham was on Fox, where he revealed that he will pushing a bill that will allow governor or mayor of any state to go to jail if they refuse to hand over detained illegal migrants to the federal agents. Let's take a look.
All right, joining us now, Chairman of the Budget Committee, Senator Lindsey Graham. I would imagine after that interview, there's not a lot you agree on. I do think there are things like body cams and some other things that you do.
I wore a tie, by the way.
You did, but he was maybe shoveling snow, and so we're giving a lot of grace around here in D.C. because it's so bad outside. Now, there's also this issue about judicial warrants, and Democrats really want to push for that. That is beyond what ICE has used these administrative warrants for a long time. But let me read you something from a judge yesterday. This federal judge said that the little boy, Liam, that was in the center of all these pictures in Minneapolis, he and his dad have to be released. He said this: administrative warrants issued by the executive branch to itself do not pass probable cause muster. That's called the fox guarding the hen house. The Constitution requires an independent judicial officer. These administrative warrants have been used for years by ICE. How does it change the game if now a federal judge is going to say every operation ICE does, you got to have a judicial warrant, and Democrats say they're going to push for it?
Well, what we're going to do is, I'm not going to agree. That would grind it to a halt. If you had a judicial warrant in all these things, you couldn't deal with mass. We're not dealing with the. We're trying to get people out of the country who have no right to be here, Judge. There's no right to come to America. If you're here illegally, we have expedited procedures to get you out. The federal government is in charge of immigration policy. 12 states tell the federal government, go to hell, we will not help you.
Sanctuary states.
Yeah, including Kentucky. What's this all about? You've had like 15 million people come in 4 years under Biden. Only God knows where they're at. 54% of them are in sanctuary city or states. What does it mean? In Minneapolis, they have people who are illegal immigrants subject to being detained under federal law, and they won't give them over to DHS. These laws have been on the books for 30 years, and states, 12, are saying we're not going to turn these people over as required by federal law. We're not going to work with you. That's called sanctuary city.
But are they required to turn people over?
Yes,
I mean, they have an option to cooperate or not.
Detainers, no, they have to do. It's a law. That's what this is.
But a lot of states and counties will say, we don't have an obligation, and so we're not going to tell you if we release someone that's
Well, they're wrong. I got a bill. Here's what my bill says. If you're a sanctuary city or state, you're a governor or you're a mayor, and you don't comply with detainer laws and other laws that require you to turn over to custody to the federal government somebody in violation of immigration law. Immigration law is national law. So if a state runs into an illegal immigrant, they have an obligation under federal law to get that person in federal custody for deportation. If you don't do it that way, illegal immigration will never end. They'll find the 12 states, they'll keep coming. The governors and the mayors are openly defying the law. They're creating the chaos. These are fraud-ridden areas. There's a law and order breakdown. What am I going to do? I'm passing a bill that says if you're a governor or you're a state official and you have in your custody someone who's broken federal immigration law and you do not turn that person over under existing law of the United States, you could go to jail. You're committing a crime. You remember Kim Davis?
I do.
Okay, who's Kim Davis, folks? Nothing to do with illegal immigration. Kim Davis was a clerk of court in Kentucky. The Supreme Court ruled that the law of the land was that gay marriage was legal, that gay marriage was recognized under the U.S. Constitution. If you didn't recognize gay marriage, you violated the Equal Protection Clause. She's a religious conservative. People applied, two gay guys applied for a marriage license. She said she wouldn't issue it, even though it was the law of the land. She went to jail. I was asked, what about it? Well, I agree with her political, philosophical, not her religious views, but she's a public official. She has to do this. You can't change the law because you disagree with it. She went to jail. She should have for 5 days. To these mayors and governors, when you defy federal law that's clearly on the books, you can't set it aside because of your political beliefs or you disagree with it. That is chaos. So I was willing to say Kim Davis, even though I agreed with her underlying position, had to follow the Constitution, had to follow the Supreme Court. To the governors, to the mayors, you will follow federal law. It's been on the books for 30 years, or you're going to go to jail. That is what my bill does.
Do you have votes for that, though, in the bill? Or are you going to have to
We
go...
won't know till we vote. 80%.
So you want everybody to have to take that vote?
80% of the people in this country hate sanctuary cities. Why? It's dumb. You got 50 states. If you got 12, if you can get to one of the 12, you never get deported. There's no end to illegal. It's a magnet for illegal immigration.
I want to make sure that I get to some foreign policy while we have you here, too, today, because...
Sorry, I got a cold.
We take a little break there. Iran, the president said we're moving in a lot of assets. We know that warships, airplanes, we know that all of that has moved in. He says they are negotiating. They're having conversation.
Right.
The Ayatollah says if you strike here, it's going to spark a regional war.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's a defining moment in his presidency. Ronald Reagan went to the Berlin Wall and he said, tear down this wall. He didn't say, could you make it lower? When asked about what the protesters should do, President Trump said, keep protesting, help is on the way. If this regime is still standing, the day after, if we pull the plug, will be 100 years of chaos. I have every confidence that President Trump will do what he promised to the people. Help is on the way, keep protesting. If this regime falls, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, they all go. It'd be the biggest change since the fall of the Berlin Wall. But here's one thing I know. Donald Trump is Ronald Reagan plus in my mind. Venezuela, soon Cuba. The one thing you can't do as president, talk like Reagan and act like Obama. There's no deal to be done here. These people are not trustworthy. The protesters in the street are not protesting for a better nuclear deal. They're protesting for a better life. And if they win the day, we have a chance to have friends with the people of Iran. The Ayatollah will never be our friend. He's a religious Nazi. President Trump, you said help is on the way. That has to be real. It has to be real soon. Do it, Mr. President. The people of Iran are begging you to be on their side. You have done it so good. You are Reagan plus. This is the defining moment in your presidency. Stand by the people. The Ayatollah falls. The region changes. Bigger than the fall of the Berlin Wall. No more international terrorists. This regime has American blood on its hands since 1979. You got the Houthis, you got Hezbollah killing Americans. Bring this regime down because the people want it down. You don't have to invade the country, but help on the way means military strikes against the infrastructure that is killing the Iranian people. Go after the ones who are killing the people. Put this regime on notice. We're never going to let up. Strangle their economy. it will fall, the people will take over, and over time we will have a friend in Iran, not an enemy. Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis all fall.
Okay.
The biggest thing you could possibly ever do to the Mideast is take this regime down, and they're as weak as they've ever been since 1979. Mr. President, you can do it. I hope you will do it, and if you do it, this is Reagan plus.
Okay, we got to go, but it sparks all kinds of questions about what comes behind that Ayatollah. I wish we had more time.
Can I tell you, friends, not enemies? That's the dumbest question. 1 second.
We got to go.
What happens if Hitler had fallen? It'd been better. If these people win, they'll be more likely our friends. The Ayatollah will never be our friend. I tell you what will happen if we pull the plug.
Quickly.
If we all talk and we don't do it, we'll have 100 years of chaos. America's standings will be 0.
I have no doubt about where you stand on this, and neither does the president. Senator Graham.
No sanctuary cities.
Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
If you love what we are doing, please subscribe, share, and comment.